The King Midas and the Golden Touch. Many years ago, there was a rich king named Midas. The king grew so fond of gold, better than anything else in the whole world. One day, while he was in his gold room, a fairy boy appeared in front of him. The fairy's face shone with a wonderful light, and he had wings on his back. "King Midas, you are the richest man in the world," said the fairy boy. "There is no king who has as much gold as you do."
Of course I have the most gold in the world,
boasted the king.
But I want much more, for gold is the best and the most wonderful thing in the world.
"Are you sure?" asked the fairy boy.
I am very sure,
answered the king. "If I should grant you one wish," said the fairy boy, "would you ask for more gold?"
If I could have one wish,
said the king,
I would ask that everything I touch should turn into beautiful yellow gold.
"Your wish shall be granted," said the fairy boy. "At sunrise tomorrow morning, your slightest touch will turn everything into gold. But I warn you that your gift will not make you happy."
I will take the risk,
said the king. The next day, King Midas awoke very early. He wanted to see if the fairy's promise had come true. As soon as the sun arose, he tried the gift by touching the bed lightly with his hand. The bed turned into gold. He touched the chair and table. Instantly, they changed into solid gold. The king was wild with joy. He ran around the room, touching everything he could see. His magic gift turned everything he touched into shining yellow gold. The king was hungry, and he went down to eat his breakfast. But when he lifted a glass of clear, cold water to drink, it became solid gold. Not a drop of water could pass his lips. The bread turned to gold under his fingers. The meat was hard, yellow, and shiny. The king was not able to eat anything. Everything he touched was gold, gold, and gold. The king's little daughter came in from the garden. Without thinking, the king gently kissed her. At once, the little girl transformed into a golden statue. A great fear crept into King Midas's heart, sweeping all the joy out of his life. In his grief, the king called out loudly for the fairy who had given him the gift of the golden touch.
"Help! Help!"
Oh, fairy,
he begged.
Please take away this horrible golden gift. Take all my lands. Take all my gold. Take everything. Only give me back my little daughter.
In a moment, the fairy boy appeared and asked, "Do you still think that gold is the greatest thing in the world?"
No, no,
cried the king.
I can't stand the sight of the golden stuff.
Are you sure that you no longer wish for the golden touch? Asked the fairy.
I have learned my lesson,
Said the king.
I no longer think that gold is the greatest thing in the world.
Very well, said the fairy. Take this pitcher to the spring in the garden and fill it with water. Then sprinkle the things you have touched. Midas took the pitcher and rushed to the spring. As soon as he returned, he sprinkled his dear little girl. Instantly, she became his own sweet daughter again and gave him a kiss. The king sprinkled his food, and to his great joy, it turned back to real bread and butter. Then the king and his little daughter sat down to have breakfast. How good the cold water tasted! How eagerly the hungry king ate the good food! Ever since then, King Midas became a better king, generous and grateful for all goods in his life.